Welcome to another episode of the Audio Critics. I'm Philip the Punch Collins. As you can't tell by the jacket and the glasses. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you guys are staying safe in this quarantine and being in-house and all that. With that being said, I mentioned on the last video that I really don't have any movies to review besides my own movies. And with that being said, I'm going to do something a little bit special today. I don't know how special to some people, but it's going to be special to me, to a couple people I know. I am going to be doing the first part of WrestleMania Part 1, WrestleMania 36. And only because it's something that's new and it's kind of like big out there right now. So I'm not going to do the kickoff because I don't really care. I'm not saying I don't care about the kickoff, but I don't care enough to view that part. I'm going to review all the matches from last night. I don't want to say like a little backstory, but I have my friend Sage that I watch the wrestling reviews. Just so you know, I'm not saying I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I'm also not the person who watches every week and all that. I watch the top 10 stuff, and let me tell you, what I have noticed is I do miss the crowd being there, because the crowd makes it. You know, you when they have something else to pay into besides just the wrestlers, because when like the wrestlers mess up or something like that, you don't always see the mess ups, and in wrestling right now I can see all the mess ups, and it kind of makes me like, I'm kind of missing that fan base right now. With that being said, also my friend Carlos that I work with, we talk about the wrestling, and always is a weekend, so we can't talk about it until we get back to work and all that. But me and him, I have two wrestling fans that I really talk to a lot about everything that's going on in wrestling. Now let's get into it. First match on the show was the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nicky Cross. And anybody who knows me knows that Alexa Bliss is my woman. I fucking love her. Not just because she's hot or anything like that, but also because she's an avid horror movie lover. And any girl who's a horror movie lover is A-okay in my book. And also Nicky Cross being crazy, like, I love a crazy girl too. So it's a perfect team up. And honestly, I am surprised that they haven't broke them up yet. But I'm glad they haven't, because they work good together. I just don't know about Alexa Bliss being a good girl. I don't want to say good guy because that's sexist. But I don't know about that part. With that being said, you know, the thing that I'm surprised about Alexa Bliss and Nicky Cross winning the match was obviously had like Becky, Lynch, and Charlotte go against the Kabuki Warriors, and they couldn't beat them. Now I don't know if they were trying to do it like Asuka's kind of like lost a step after she lost to Becky Lynch at Royal Rumble and all that. Maybe that's the case, because I felt like, yeah, Asuka's not the one that got pinned, but you lose to Alexa Bliss and Nicky Cross. Not saying anything bad about them, because like I said, I love them as a tag team, but it was just a really surprise. Like, I wanted them to win, but I was really surprised to see that these two beat them over Charlotte and Becky. But at the same time, how many other tag teams are out there right now for women's? Not that many. The next match was King Cobra versus Elias. I liked how, okay, so the problem I had for the week before is, and maybe this is also the problem I have with no crowd being there, like when the SmackDown or Raw, I can't remember, had to be SmackDown because it said 8 days ago, when he knocked Elias off the tower and all that. Most of the time that would have been a backstage thing, because you can't, you know, how he fell and you heard him fall, it really just doesn't make sense, you know, why they showed him, you know, also edited and cut it out and all that. That's how they were able to do it. But, you know, well, first of all, women's tag team, I'll give it a B-. Corbin and Elias, I mean, Corbin is a good bad guy, maybe too good of a bad guy because, he gets on a lot of people's nerves. And he's not like the best wrestler as a bad guy. He's no Triple H or anything like that. But he does keep it entertaining. Like, I like the part where JBL and Michael Cole was doing the thing, and he yells, "Y'all better be telling them how good of a wrestler I am." So I really like that as a bad guy. But Elias won that, and I don't know, like, it was, like an okay match. It wasn't like anything great, so I'm gonna give it an even C. Next one, which surprised me and my friend Sage, the next match was Becky Lynch versus Baszler. And the problem I have with this match is I said that Baszler was going to win. But, obviously, Becky Lynch won. And nothing wrong with that, but I felt like she won by the skin of her teeth kind of thing. Like, she didn't truly beat Baszler. Baszler had her pretty much for pretty much the whole match, and then all of a sudden, when she had her in submission, and then was able to, when she was striking her out, she rolled back and had her Baszler's shoulders on the ground and was able to get the 10. My thing is, she was celebrating like she won the match, like fair. Like she beat her the whole match, but it wasn't until then that she really, actually beat her. So I felt like eventually she's going to lose the title to her. I thought it would have been better for WrestleMania to lose it. And say, I don't know. That's what WWE does wrong. Is like the moment that they should have won the title, they'll wait until like the next pay-per-view or two. But with all this quarantine, we don't know what if they're ever going to have a match anytime soon. By the time the heat's going to be gone, it just doesn't make sense. Next one, well, for that, Becky and Baszler, I'm going to give it a C- because it definitely could have been a lot better. I don't know, it just, I understand why it's number 3 on the card. Going from being the headliner last year to being the 3rd on the match, I feel like that's obviously a big downgrade. Next match was Sami Zayn versus Bryan. And Sami Zayn plays a good bad guy, but my problem is, and Sage said the same thing when we were watching it together, that he thought that he was only playing like always getting out of the ring because for the Braun Strowman match at Elimination Chamber. But no, he kept on trying to do that. And what I don't understand is, Bryan's chasing him, and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro kept on stopping him. The referee back in the day would have told him, like, hey, you're getting involved in the match, you guys step back to the back. I felt like I don't understand why they didn't do that. I mean, it just didn't make sense. With that being said, I'm pissed off that it took one kick. Once Bryan jumped on Cesaro and Nakamura, that it took one kick from Sami Zayn for Bryan to lose. So I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, one kick? Like, yeah, it's finishing maneuver, but Bryan's been a World Heavyweight Champion. He's taken, I don't know how many finishers before, to be able to beat him. I just felt like it made Bryan look like a bitch, and that's what I didn't like about this match. So I'm going to give it another C, because it definitely could have been a lot better. Especially how much offense that Bryan had compared to over Sami Zayn. Next match was a ladder match with John Morrison, Jimmy Uso, and Kofi Kingston. And these 3 guys always put on a good show usually. Well, I wouldn't say always, but most of the time they put on a good show. And the ladder match is no different. What I did like, this is the one match I can say that it was alright without having the crowd there. Because hearing them talking, like when Kofi Kingston threw a ladder at Jimmy Uso when he was trying to tightrope the barricade, and then he was like, "Oh, I gotta take you out. I know you got a lot of heart, but I gotta take you out." And then when Jimmy Uso threw Kofi Kingston's head into the ladder, and he goes, "Oh, he's dead. I flattened him like a pancake." Like it was a good back and forth. And honestly, to me, this was probably one of the two best matches on the card of part one. And I wanted Morrison and Miz to keep the title belts, to be honest, because Miz is like my favorite wrestler, just because how much of a better wrestler he has become throughout the time. But the idea of like they're all holding the title belts at the same time, and then they headbutt Morrison off, and because he unhooked the title belts, that Morrison stayed the champion. I thought that was a good way to end it. It really, one thing that got me is when Morrison pushed over Jimmy on the ladder and he fell over. In a regular ladder match, if you had all the wrestlers, that would be the end of that wrestler for the rest of the match. But Jimmy got up within a matter of like 2 minutes, and that's why I don't understand. I'm like, man, that would have took him out for the rest of the match. I mean, you can look at all the Money in the Bank matches and all the other previous tag team matches, and usually when somebody falls that far from the ring on a ladder to the floor, they're out. They're not active in the match anymore. So I'm going to give, for that match, I'm going to give it a B+. I really enjoyed this match. It was definitely entertaining. But it's going to be tied for the next match, which was Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins definitely plays a better bad guy than he does a good guy. Especially in this match. I had a feeling that Kevin Owens was going to win because, they emphasized too much of him not having a WrestleMania moment. With that being said, he, obviously, first of all, it started off with a didn't start off, but it had a disqualification where Seth Rollins used the bell on Kevin Owens and got him, Seth Rollins disqualified. And then Kevin Owens got in the ring with the microphone and was like, "I thought you were the god, that was very ungodlike, I thought you were better than that, blah, blah." And he'd been like, "Let's have a no disqualification match." And from there, I was expecting like Betty Murphy or the AOP to come out or something like that. No, it showed up, so that wasn't surprising for a no disqualification. But when Seth Rollins was smashing Kevin Owens with a ladder, he goes, "That's what gets you in trouble, your mouth." And Kevin Owens like, You're always you always be a bitch and all that. And honestly, on this pay-per-view, they said bitch quite a bit, and that surprised me. But Kevin Owens jumped off the top of the WrestleMania thing and gave Seth Rollins an elbow through the announce table. It was really well put together match kind of thing. So that one, I'm going to give it an A-. So honestly, I think that was my favorite match of the night. Then you get into Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Obviously, Braun Strowman took over for Roman Reigns. And what this match showed me was no matter who won, or no matter who was there, Goldberg was always going to lose, no matter if it was Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman. And finally, they pulled a trigger on Braun Strowman. But the bad thing about this, I feel, is Braun Strowman is only going to be a title placeholder until this whole coronavirus and all that gets what's it called? Not secure or nothing like that, but like where it's where nobody's worried about it, nobody's getting infected, nobody's dying and all that. And then Roman Reigns is going to come back and challenge for the title, and he's going to beat Braun. I just don't know if it's going to be the first pay-per-view that they go against, or they're going to wait till the second one. Either way, Braun's going to only hold it, I feel, for a few months at most, probably. But I hate it. It was spear, and then power slam. There was no moves to it or nothing. And that's why I'm going to give this an F. It was the worst match on the card. And the last match was Undertaker versus AJ Styles. And I would have said that this was the worst match on the card for me. But with Goldberg and Braun, that was unanimous of how bad that was. Undertaker and AJ Styles, this was just a buried alive match, but in a graveyard. And I don't know, maybe the reason why they did it at a graveyard is because they didn't want to set up a buried alive match at the Performance Center. But I feel like it would have been a lot better. AJ Styles is obviously a great wrestler, but I just hate that he's wearing like jeans and all that, because it really took away from what he could do with Undertaker. But I just feel like, you know, it was just a big movie, pretty much. Like, just imagine watching a movie, and you know, that's quality it had, but it wasn't really like anything spectacular. And that's my problem I had with this match. And it could have been a lot better, but it wasn't. Mainly because of how they shot it and all that. And I hate it, like, the Undertaker's minions that came out was turned on him and all that. They didn't do shit. Like, why'd you even bring them out? You know, it just didn't make sense. Why just not just have the OC? And I mean, they did have the OC, but you should have just left it at that. And then the shovel that they try to use didn't even have to tip. Like, why don't you just go grab the stick? You know, it just doesn't. The whole thing just to me doesn't make sense. And the other thing that really, when AJ Styles had Undertaker beat, and then all of a sudden a bright light shows up behind AJ Styles and Undertaker's behind him, you know, obviously you can tell from editing and all that, that's how it was made. But, I don't know, I just didn't, you know, like, if it was done at an actual WrestleMania, what would have happened was the lights would have went out, and then that's when the Undertaker would have came out and did what he did. I just felt like it was just cheaply done. And then the punches, you could tell some of the punches were made with sound effects in them. And that's why I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why? Why? But Undertaker won, obviously. But the other thing I hated was at the end when AJ Styles has been beat, he has his hand sticking out of the ground. I go, are you fucking... Out of this match, some people are enjoying it and all that. Me personally, I kind of hated it. Like, I didn't think it was a good match at all, and I'm very disappointed with the whole thing, because I thought it could have been a lot better. It should have been like no disqualification match or something like that. That would have been a lot better. Or, you know, performing in an empty arena, have it where they can go on anywhere in the arena. They're like powerbombing somebody on a chair or something. It would have been a lot better like that. This is hoping to part 2. Hopefully is better, because you got, you know, they got Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar for the title belt. You got the 5-pack women's title belt. You got Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Hopefully the second night, which I'll probably do a video for that one too. Hopefully that one's gonna be a lot better. But Undertaker and AJ, I'll give it, just because, you know, I love AJ, I'm gonna give it a C-. But honestly, it probably was like a D, to be honest. But that's not taking away from how AJ is as a wrestler, and that's not taking anything away from Undertaker. I just think that how WWE decided to handle it was terrible. But with that being said, I'm going to end it right here. And thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Remember, the next 5 subscribers, I'll subscribe back, and the next 2 subscribers get to pick out a movie that they like, as long as it's easy for me to find. With that being said, like I always say, stay classy.